Next from Austin, the inauguration speech by Texas Governor Ĝorџ W. Bush. The son of President Bush defeated incumbent Democrat Ann Richards in the November elections. His speech runs about 20 minutes.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, George Walker Bush, do solemnly swear.
I, George Walker Bush, do solemnly swear.
That I will faithfully execute the duties.
That I will faithfully execute the duties.
Of the office of Governor of the State of Texas.
Of office of Governor of the State of Texas.
And will, to the best of my ability.
And will, to the best of my ability.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
The Constitution and laws of the United States.
The Constitution and laws of the United States.
And of this state.
And of this state.
So help me God.
So help me God. My beloved wife and 2 children, family members, thousands of friends from all over the state and all over the country, fellow Texans, a clear sign of the importance of the relationship between Texas and Mexico. Friends bring out the best in each other. May our friendship bring much good to both of our countries. I stand where others have stood before in front of this just magnificent Capitol. Moments ago, my hand was on Sam Houston's own Bible, simple and worn, that has consecrated the oath-taking of many other Texas governors. Once again, all Texas witnesses a special moment when the people transfer the solemn responsibilities of the office of governor from one person to another. My predecessor served our state well. The example she set gives heart to those who battle adversity and hope to those who wonder if opportunity is limited. Today, as Governor Richards leaves office, Texas owes her a debt of gratitude. After the storm of the campaign, the transfer of authority from one governor to another happens in relative calm. So much so that we run the risk of taking this special moment for granted. We must not. Our Republican form of government only endures because Texans will its continued existence. Though other Texas governors lived in much different times and faced different challenges and spoke in their own way upon this platform on their inaugural days, certain things are unchanged. I share the sense of dedication that other new governors must have felt. Like them, I understand that I am responsible to all of the people of Texas. I share the excitement of those who've come to this job before me, their sense of purpose, their eagerness to get on with the task ahead. I share my predecessor's feelings of humility. The duties that I assume can best be met with the guidance of one greater than ourselves. I ask for God's help. I share my predecessor's knowledge that progress is only possible with the cooperation of the Lieutenant Governor, the Speaker, and the legislative bodies they represent. I am eager to work with you, Governor Bullock and Speaker Laney. Our task is to serve the great people of Texas, to serve them well, constantly, and unstintingly. Together, we will do just that. I share the energy of one newly scrutinized by Texas. During the campaign, I sought to let the people know what was in my heart by speaking plainly and simply about my vision for our state's future. It was that philosophy and that vision which were endorsed in November. After traveling our state, seeking the vote, I have seen what those who've held this office before me knew. Texas is a mighty land, full of loving and caring people. Texans dream big dreams and achieve those dreams when freed to do so. As governor, I will call upon the best within every Texan as we confront our challenges, great tasks, and important missions. Among the most important of these is restoring government to its proper role. A few moments ago, when I took the oath of office, I pledged to defend two constitutions, those of the United States and that of Texas. You expect me to honor that oath, and I will. You expect me to heed to the principles of those documents, and I will. As your governor, I will start by defending our forefathers' wisdom in defining separate roles for our federal and state governments. That wisdom was expressed in the Bill of Rights' 10th Amendment, which gives to the states all powers not specifically granted to the federal government. The spirit of that amendment has been forgotten in recent decades. I pledge to you it will be forgotten no more. As your governor, I will use every resource at my disposal to make the federal government and Washington heed this simple truth. Texans can run Texas. As we ask Washington to return to Texas the power to innovate, to set our own course, to direct our own lives, we must also be consistent at home. If we trust Texans to make the best decision for Texas, and we do, we must also trust Texans to make the best decisions for their local communities and local schools. My guiding principle will be government if necessary, but not necessarily government. By trusting Texans, the state is more likely to focus on its principal responsibilities: good and safe streets, excellent schools, help for those who cannot help themselves, and respect for private property. By trusting Texans, we free them to succeed. I recognize that by doing so, we run the risk that sometimes some of them will fail. But mistakes made closest to the people are those most easily corrected. I also recognize freedom without responsibility is simply license. For the last 30 years, our culture has steadily replaced personal responsibility with collective guilt. This must end. The new freedom Texas seeks must be matched with renewed personal responsibility. The very future of our society depends on it. Responsibility starts at home. It starts with responsible families. I wish I knew the law to cause people to love one another. I do not. But I do know our laws must be written to strengthen our families, not diminish them. Every piece of legislation that crosses my desk will be judged by whether it keeps our families together, safe, and strong. If we are to save a generation of young people, our juvenile and criminal laws must hold people responsible for what they do. Discipline and love go hand in hand. If we want our young Texans to learn to make correct choices, the consequences of bad behavior must be certain and must be clear. If we are to end dependency upon government, we must change the welfare system. Oftentimes, the present system diminishes personal responsibility and rewards illegitimacy. For too many of the able-bodied, it says you cannot succeed. This is not the Texas way. If we are to prepare our children for their exciting future, our education laws must place the power over our schools in the hands of our local communities and local citizens. We must empower our teachers and administrators and school boards and parents to design the schools that best fit their community's needs. Texas must set high standards for our schools, free our local districts to innovate, and hold our educators responsible for results. Texans understand that governors and governments do not create prosperity. Producers, inventors, and entrepreneurs do. What government does is create an environment in which people are willing to take economic risks that creates jobs. There are many ways for a business to fail. We must not allow one of them to be a frivolous lawsuit, so that every small business person in Texas has a better chance to succeed. Texas must end the junk lawsuits that clog our courts and threaten our producers. Doing so will expand our job base so that anyone in Texas who wants a job can find one. Texas is ready for government that works. Texans know the more government tries to do, the less it accomplishes. Texans want government to concentrate on a few critical areas and do them well. But most of all, Texans desire for ourselves and the coming generation the liberty to dare, to risk, and to succeed. This is our mission. It is clear and bold. We must make Texas a beacon state. It is within the power of every Texan, working together to mold a bright future. I ask for your help, your commitment, and your prayers for the work ahead. I feel the wind at our backs. My enthusiasm for our mission is exceeded only by my confidence that we can succeed. And when we do, those who feel left behind will have new hope. Those who have grown cynical will begin to care. And our children will grow up in a more prosperous and peaceful Texas. The history of our special land tells us this: what Texans can dream, Texans can do. To be your governor is an unimaginable honor. Thank you for your confidence in me.